Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Contouring with Corsos. As you can hear, my dogs think that I just announced their presence. If you don't know who I am, I have a YouTube channel already for dog training and dog behavior. And I'm Cashmere, quiet down. And I have Cane Corso, which is an Italian mastiff. No, you guys go away, go. Go, go, go. Go, stop making a bunch of ruckus. So, you might hear me having to get onto my dogs periodically. I've had a lot of people ask me to do a channel for makeup, and there's a lot of people that do makeup channels, and so I hadn't done one yet because I just wasn't quite sure that that was my calling, but we're gonna give it a shot. So, I'm just gonna start off with what I normally do. I have no idea what makeup look I'm gonna do yet. Normally I use my phone, and I have a Pinterest board that I use to get my makeup looks because I really like to use Pinterest. Sometimes I like to watch makeup tutorials, but sometimes it feels like in the interest of time, I think they move pretty quickly, but I personally like them to go a little bit slower so that I can kind of go along with them. But you can kind of let me know what you would like to do. Or what you would like me to do. So just to start off with, I start off with a clean face. I typically use baby wipes and then like a makeup remover wipe in the interest of time saving. And then I prep my face with this right here. It's Drunk Elephant. It's a moisturizing cream. I like it. It doesn't make my face feel greasy, and it absorbs into my skin, which I really like. The other thing is I use this for my lips. It's a vitamin E and peppermint one. I feel like the peppermint kind of like plumps my lips a little bit, and is the best chapstick I've ever used. So yeah, so normally whenever I get ready, my hair is wet. My hair is kind of thin, and it's really long, so it's, you know, when you have thin long hair, it's kind of it weighs down really quickly. This hair is I did my hair last night. I went out, so my hair is kind of it's already done. So normally what I would do whenever I get ready is I will take a shower and then put my I think it's a 10 conditioner, like leave-in conditioner. And then I put my hair up in a bun, wet on the top of my head, like loosely, like right here on the top of my head. And that's so that I can actually get body. If I put my hair any other way, you know, whenever I go to do my hair, it'll have no body. So that's what I normally do. But this time, since my hair's already done, and I just wanted to kind of just do a video for you guys, my hair's whatever, it's already done. The reason why I don't like to do my hair first is because oftentimes I get foundation and, you know, powders and stuff in the feathers here of my hair, and even like over here, and I feel like it just I don't like the way it makes it makes my hair feel here. It makes it kind of dry, and just kind of goes like takes away from my overall hair texture and experience. So, but this time, you know, whatever, my hair's already done, and so we're just kind of like trying things out. All right, so enough babbling on my part. I use Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I tend to make my own mixes of color because they don't have my color. And how I do that is I use the NYX HD Studio concealers, and I will just kind of, you know, add some color, add some pigment to them. And then sometimes I'll even get like multiple colors and kind of combine them together. So anyway, so I always start off with my eyes. I first prime my eyes with foundation. I don't use any kind of primer. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I don't. And then I do my eyebrows. So we're gonna do that now. I'm completely 100% unorganized. I just kind of, I've had so many people want me to do this that I just figured, okay, whatever, I'll do it. But it's going to be a learning process. It's kind of a small mirror. Whatever, I guess that'll work. All right, so what I always do to start with is I take a little bit of foundation just like that on my finger, and then I try to get equal amounts on both fingers, and then I just bloop, bloop, like that. Although you don't have to do the sound effects. I often don't. All right, and then I just rub it in. I don't try to be particularly clean about it. Cashmere, quiet down. I guess it's good that I've at least announced the dogs since they're over there horse playing. Hopefully I'm not blocking the entire view of my face. This is such a new experience for me. I've never done this. Now I will say that, so the way that I learned to do makeup, because I am not by any stretch of the imagination a makeup artist. I learned from a girl. I grew up in foster care, and there was this girl, Brandy, and she was like really good at makeup. And I used to watch her do her makeup, and we would sit and we would talk. And I would just watch the older girls do their makeup and stuff like that. Right now I'm using, because they didn't have the powder that I normally use, so right now I'm using the Born This Way Too Faced translucent powder. And I just take that and I just rub it in to make sure I don't get any creasing, because I will. I have no problem admitting my age. I am 36 years old. I honestly got to a point where I wanted to stop thinking about it, because I think as women we have a tendency to kind of obsess over it. But whatever, it is what it is. It's not like you can change it. I've had no work done, and if you can tell, I have wrinkles on my forehead, and I don't have lip injections or anything like that. I kind of have some weird thoughts on, not weird, but I basically feel like, I'm not going to say that I would never do it, because I don't like to speak in absolutes, but I feel like it's a trap. I feel like it's one of those things where you maybe shouldn't, because it's like a fight you can't win, you know what I mean? Like, eventually you're going to, no matter what you do, your age is going to catch up to you. And I would like to age gracefully and just like kind of, let it go. I don't know. There's, like I said, I've kind of been blessed with not really, having like a super aging face or whatever like that. I don't know. So anyway, I use for pencil for my eyebrows, I use the NYX one. I used to use the Anastasia, Beverly Hills, or Anastasia, however you say it, but I found that this works just as good, and it's extremely less expensive. I'm gonna try to go to a smaller mirror. Maybe that will help you guys to be able to see me better. And yeah. All right, so I've got my pencil here. I don't do really anything fancy. And I just try to follow my natural, kind of try to do a little bit more of like a boxy front. I don't like it whenever it's too round in the front. Like so. I feel like this is gonna take so long. I have like no editing skills. I feel like I need to like speed it up. Like, like the other girls do, like the cool girls. Anyway, I'm gonna have to learn more about editing. whatever. There's always opportunities for growth. All right. So that's pretty much, yeah, pretty much what I'm looking for. Get a little bit of that. Nothing, you know, nothing super special. And I don't do any individual hairs, any of that kind of stuff. I do not have the time for it. I am typically a very busy person. I train and breed dogs, and I run a YouTube channel where I demonstrate that kind of stuff. So I just don't always have the time to really sit and spend that much time on my makeup. I need it to look good, and I need it to be quick and functional, and that's basically all I care about. But more power to you if you do have the time. Back whenever I was just working full-time, I had like my office job, I would actually come home from work and do my makeup. And then by the time I was done with it, I would like be washing it off and going to bed. But it was my time to have fun with my makeup, and I bought a lot of palettes, and I had a lot of people from work, they were like, oh, you should start a YouTube channel. But I just was like, there's so many other people that are better than me, like why would I do that, you know? Like I've always thought that you need to do like what you're really good at, and I just felt like if there's better people than me out there, then why would I do it? But whatever, here we go. Okay, so now I have that done, then I start with the eyeshadow. Now I really don't know what I'm gonna do, but let's do something. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start with the palette, my very first palette that I ever bought. Which is funny because she actually was not a makeup guru. But I didn't know that at the time. I just saw it. Like back whenever I had roommates, I had a roommate that would buy like expensive makeup, and I was like a CoverGirl fanatic, you know what I mean? I didn't buy expensive makeup, did not care. I thought it was just like a waste of money. And then I started to age, and I started to get wrinkles, and I couldn't use CoverGirl anymore because it would settle into my fine lines, and it just started to look really thick and whatever. And so, and I just saw this palette. It's like super worn out. And I was like in love with the color palette. And as you can see here, I've used it a lot. Hit pan on quite a few of them. And I've heard that people really didn't like this palette, but I do. So anyway, even to this day, I have a lot of palettes. I even have stuff that's expensive, like Natasha Denona and stuff like that. I have almost all of the, Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. And I still always come back to these. So, all right, so yeah, so I'm just gonna we're gonna start off with Natural Peaches. I'm gonna just literally do let's go back to the small mirror. And I love I'm not gonna lie, I love the way it smells. So I'm just gonna go in and define my crease. So yeah, so whenever I bought this palette, my daughter was like, she knew who Graveyard Girl was, and I didn't. I'd never watched her. Like I said, I literally just bought the palette because of how beautiful it was. It was in this really pretty glass case. And so I just loved it. And so then my daughter showed me her channel, and I don't know. I think I watched her for a little bit, and then I just really wasn't, you know, like, it's not that I don't like her. It's just that it's not really my kind of content. But anyway, like I said, I really loved the palette. And even to this day, I still think that it's a really beautiful color scheme. And having said that, I am not a fan of Tarte eyeshadows. I think they're good starters for, like, if you're a young, you know, like you're just now getting into makeup and maybe you've never tried it before, and you like you know, what I find with them is that the pigmentation just really isn't there compared to a lot of other brands. But that can actually be a good thing if you're just starting out and you kind of need the ability to something that's more forgiving. You know what I mean? So Tarte can be good for that. But if you have a darker complexion, like my best friend Reese, we've talked about Tarte. She's bought Tarte before and it really was not ideal for her. And so I have Tarte palettes that I have not at all used. So I'm horrible about whenever I do my makeup. I'm usually like not wearing what I'm gonna wear, and so like I'll literally use like my nightgown or whatever to like dust out to be able to switch a shadow. You know what I mean? I'm like that. I am by no means a makeup artist. Like I said, I am just a girl who loves makeup, who loves to do her makeup. That is it. So. Okay. All right, so I guess that's good. So then what I'm gonna do is so this was more of like a flat brush. Now I'm gonna go in and get something that's more tapered and thin so that I can really concentrate on my crease. And then this one I used last night, it has like pink and black in it. So what I'll do with that is I'll actually take, that's whenever I use my little baby wipes, and I just give it a good rub just to get that color off, because I have not bought like multiple sets of brushes, and that's just because I'm cheap. The only brushes that I've really spent any kind of money on are face brushes. Eyeshadow brushes, I mean, I used to do my eyeshadow makeup with like my fingers, or even those little foam thingies. In fact, I still kind of like those foam thingies. I'm thinking those are gonna have a comeback. Okay, so now we're gonna do what they call Dog Man, which I think is her boyfriend, husband. I'm not sure, I haven't watched in a while, so I have no idea. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and get the outer, so we're gonna go right in here. We've got some fallout, but that's fine because I don't have my foundation on. And that's a big reason why I don't do my foundation until afterwards, because I have found that even with shadows that don't have a lot of fallout, that it's still like, you think it's not there, you know what I mean? And then it is there. Like when you clean it up, you're like, oh wow, there was a lot of fallout. So yeah. So for me, I prefer to wait. And then it's super clean, and that's probably just because I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that way. All right. And there is a lot like of kickback on this color here. If you care about that, then, you know, then that might matter to you. I personally don't. There have been shadows that, like, for example, I tried the Subculture palette, and I was like, no. That was like the worst kickback ever. Everything was like, you're like sitting there trying to like push it, like press it back in with your fingers. Like, no. The color scheme I loved. And I will say that I'm so depressed and sad that they never ever redid that formula. I was really hoping that they would redo that formula, but they never did. All it needed was to be redone because the color scheme was amazing. Okay. So like I said, this is going to be a really long video. Let me know if you hate that. Let me know if you want me to speed it up. And maybe what I'll do is I'll stop talking whenever I'm blending so I can speed it up. All right. Also having a hard time staring at the right part of the thing. Like I should be staring here. And instead I'm staring at myself, which makes it look like I'm not even looking at myself. And like, I don't know if you watch Rich Lux, but I used to be so irritated that he would do that. And, you know, it's like I totally get it. Okay, so, all right, so now we're gonna do Sassy Bun, and I do that with my finger. Still one of my favorite golds in the game. And I'm just gonna go over here. Kind of look away. Kind of give it a blend with my fingers because like I said, I will do that. Got a bit of sippy in my finger. Yeah, and be careful when you do wipe your fingers with a baby wipe because then your fingers will be wet and then it might affect the way that it is applied. Well, it will affect it. And like I said, because of the fact that I haven't done my foundation, at the bottom I can be as messy as I want to be about that. Look at my viewfinder, see how it looks. Alright, so now that I've done that, now I can come back in with the orange Dogman, kind of deepen that back up again, redo that blend a bit. Yep. Sorry if I make weird faces. I think we all kind of do that. Right, and then we'll go back in with some natural peaches. Natural peaches. All right. It's kind of cool that she's from Texas too. Although those of you that watch my other channel know that I am not planning on staying here long. I'm trying to move up to Tennessee. Ooh, just blinded myself there. I have my window open and that's a problem. All right, so then we're gonna do Big Baby in the brow area here. We had a little bit of droppage there, but that's okay. Does that look okay? Yeah. And I haven't done any of the stuff I'm supposed to do. Like I don't have any pretty kind of backdrop. I have no intro, no music, not a tostada. Okay, and now what we're gonna do, while we try not to blind ourselves, is take a small detail brush, else could work. And we'll see. Then I'm gonna take some sippy and start to define my outer edge here and add some depth. And then we're gonna use the other one to blend it out. Hope you can see that, yeah. Add a little bit more Dogman to help that blend a bit so it's not too dark. It's been a while since I've actually done this look. Yeah, we'll see. And then we'll go back in. Kind of went a little heavy on the Dogman, but whatever. Or not Dogman, Sippy. I can't even see over here. Does it look okay? It's hard to tell. Let me look at my other one. Do a check. I think this side is a little too dark still, but it's not too bad. We'll do a bit more Dogman, because as they say, what you do to one side, you should do to the other. Good job, Blondie. Blondie's my daughter's dog. She's over here hanging out. Okay. One more little swipey of the Sassy Bun. Careful about doing a Sassy Bun, by the way. My daughter was doing it and she totally ruined her hair. Okay, so eyeliner is something I cannot do on camera because of the fact that I need both hands. I have wrinkles, so I have to do it on, I have to do it close up because I'm blind. All right, maybe I can show you my dirty thing down here and maybe bring it down a bit. I don't know if that's gonna work at all, but we'll try it. You can at least see me do it. Alrighty. I know people say you shouldn't pull back on your eye, but I'm about to pull back on my eye. Okay. So this one, I'm always worried whenever it has the bubbles. I use the NYX liner because it's cheap and it works, but I have found that when you get the bubbles and you start to get the hairs where they kind of come off, it's typically a sign that you shouldn't use it anymore. So I have another one handy because I always have it handy. Yep, this one's better. Okay. All right. So just gonna do it. Now I'm always doing wings. I have never been comfortable with my makeup unless I have a wing liner. But I'll admit that as I've gotten older, it's been very hard to maintain that. I think if I ever got any type of surgery, it would be to remove any excess skin on my eyes, because I think my wing liner is the one thing I would probably get surgery for. I don't know how to exist without a wing liner. It's just like who I am when I do my makeup. I try not to think too much about it. When I think too much about it, it always ends up bad. I also found that that the more tutorials that I watched on wing liner, the worse my wing liner got. I think that it's one of those things that you just kind of have to sit in the mirror and just figure out your eyes and how to do your eyes. And it's still something that I used to be a lot better about it. Like I said, I knew my eyes a lot better, and lately with age I've had to kind of like relearn my eyes, and that, oh, it sucks so bad. And I've just kind of gotten used to having like not the perfect eyeliner sometimes, or it's just like, oh, I just have to like just let it go that day and just recognize that it's not my day. And then other times I'm like, why can't you do it like this all the time? And it's important to remember that they're not twins, as they say, like even with your eyebrows they say that, but especially, at least for me, with my eyes. One of my eyes, my left eye, is usually a lot easier for me. My right eye is like the black sheep, and it's like, no. And it's always a hassle and annoying. I think that's gonna have to do. So, not perfect, but you know what? Like I said, we're not looking for perfection here. Okay, maybe we are just a little bit. See, now I'm doing what you shouldn't do, which is to continue to keep messing with it. That's what you should not do. Get something that looks good, then leave it alone. Don't do what I'm doing where you keep messing with it. Because then you're going to mess it up and you're going to be like, why? Why did I do this? Whatever. Okay. All right. I'm stopping myself. So now that it's done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baby wipe and I'm going to clean up under my eyes before I do my before I do the rest of my face. Okay. See all that? Yeah. I've already moisturized my face, so I won't need to do that. No, Blondie, you're gonna have to wait. She's over there hitting the door. She's like, I need to go outside. It's like, yeah, don't we all? Okay. So I'm gonna take some of my moisturizer here. Gonna give it a slight rub. We don't want it to be too greasy. Just kind of go back and replace that. from where I wiped it off. And it's really important because if you're like me and you're a little bit older, you can get some wrinkling down there, and you're not going to want that. Okay, so I was using a different mirror. All right. Okay, we're good. So now, get my foundation out. And I don't have a little glass plate like Tati or whoever it was that had that plate. I think it was Tati. I just take it and I stick it on my forearm right here. I do 3 for me. Sorry about the flies. And then I just begin to add. I don't do any kind of concealer because, like I said, I'm older and concealer doesn't work when you're older. Let me use this other mirror. Okay. When you're using a brush, which is the way that I prefer to put on my foundation, it's better not to do, you don't want to do it thick because then it's going to look streaky. And especially like for me over my nose, it's a problem. And then I want to do the forehead. So difficult to do this. Okay. All right. So there we go. I try to get as close to my eyebrow as possible. And this is why it helps to not have your hair out, because then it wants to grab it. Oh my God, it's like the longest makeup tutorial ever for a palette that is like not out anymore. But whatever. They're pretty basic colors. Like you can get these. They're like in everything. So I guess that's kind of cool. All right. So for me, like I said, I've got a lot of wrinkling in my forehead. Not a lot, but I do have some. So I have to be very careful about how much I put on. Because if I put too much on, then it's going to show. I do not use beauty blenders because that's a really good way. I did use makeup blenders originally whenever I very first started, and I found that to be a big waste of my money because it would eat up so much foundation. Don't forget your ears, especially if you have red ears like I do. And then I go down the neck, which you should do too. And even more than that for me, can't really see it right now because of my shirt, but I have rosacea. I have like redness. So I try to do a very light, kind of bring it down. And then I do my chest area here. This shirt actually is higher up, but for the sake of the video, I'll show you. I would make sure you get around your nose. I love this foundation. Like, you'd have a really hard time convincing me to use anything else because it stays, like, I don't like to mess around with my makeup during the day. Like, once it's done, I want it to just be done. I do keep, because I can get kind of oily around here, like just my mouth area here. So I do keep a, where is it? I keep this one, the Infallible Pro Glow. I keep that in my car, one in my car for that. And then I take the Too Faced translucent powder and I will, in here back, and I will just dust. Because I use powder, contour, and blush and all that stuff, and it doesn't apply well without that. Okay. And then what we do is, initially what I will do is go back in with my under eye. I still have the brush from this palette. I find that it is the absolute best brush for the under eye. So I'm gonna just go with the Natural Peaches. Right. A lot of people do a tap. I tend to blow on mine. And then I do the weird eye face. Then I go in with Dogman. Give it a little brush. The reason I think I don't like the tap is because what I feel like what I'm doing whenever I blow it in is I'm not losing the pigment, I'm like pushing it into the brush. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's my theory. And my weird eyeshadow face. Right, that'll do. All right, so right, and then so I have the Hoola bronzer that I use, and same thing, I push it in, put my hair back, and then I kind of just like dust it before I rub it. Like that, into the hairline. And same thing here, kind of dust it. Got the side of the nose, down the face. I'm humming. Down the side of the face. Okay. Take a lookie. Not bad. Then I take this is the only color I've ever found that actually fits my face, which is the Shade and Light contour. It's the light one, I believe, so it has Lucid, and I never use the white one. I just use the contour color, which is the dark, like this. And I put my hair back, take it, and I go up. Like that. A little bit up here. I like to use a fan brush, a big old fan brush for this. I try not to be too precise. Kind of like a bit of like an airbrush look almost. I see you, Blondie. I'll let you out in a second. I will let you out in a second. Let me let her out real quick. Pause. Unpause. Okay. So, when I'm going out at night, I will actually do the, I have the big palette. What I found is that I just didn't use the rest of the shades enough. I used to use the light one. But anyway, I found that I just didn't use the rest of it enough, so there's no point in buying it, because I actually have 2 of them that are like that. I wonder if the other one is in here. Yep. Here's my other one. Same thing. So that one actually I'd use quite a bit more of the bronzer, but this is the first one I got, I think. So anyway, so now I just buy the little one because it's just like better. I had read that people said it was like patchier online. I personally have not found that to be true. So that's just me. All right, and then I do blush. So when I'm doing blush, I never know like which one I want. So I typically will take it and I'll put it up to my face like that, and I'll just see. So this one, yeah, that's good. There's my blush brush. Here it is. These Real Technique brushes I love for face stuff. So we'll just take some of this. It's kind of a light, natural kind of color. I actually kind of go up into the hairline a bit there. And I'm not gonna lie, I love this Tarte, these blushes. I'm very fair, and they create some really pretty blushes. For the same reason that I don't like their eyeshadows, I do like their blushes, because they're very light, and it's like, it's easy to kind of go light, but then also build up if you want to. So yeah, I don't highlight anymore. I did originally, and then I realized that all I'm doing is highlighting the wrinkles that I get here, which is not good. So I don't do it anymore. That one is old. So I'm weird. I don't like the full-size version of mascaras. I don't like how big the wand is. It doesn't work for me. I like the little ones, but I do like this Lancome Monsieur Big. Okay, where's that? There we go. That's the one that I like. I don't do falsies. I wear contacts, and I find that that the glue dries out my eyes, and I end up needing to use a bunch of contact solution, which in turn loosens the glue, and so I just don't do it. If there's a solution to that, I still don't think that I would wear them, because I very rarely ever see people wearing falsies in public, and I always feel like I'm being stared at when I wear them, like, and I don't like to be stared at, so I don't wear them. Yeah. So yeah. Careful when you're doing it this way because you'll poke yourself in the eyeball. Okay. And I think I like this because it's not super clumpy. I like them to, I really don't like my lashes to be clumped together. I like them to be evenly spaced. And so I think that's one of the reasons I really like it. And then I don't usually do mascara beneath. Sometimes I will, like if I have like a lot of darkness there, but a lot of times I don't because I want my eyes to look fresh and open. I'm gonna try better to look at the dang you thingy. You're right here, you're not right here. All right, and then for lipstick, I only use one lipstick. I'm very basic. And I only ever use, well, I use one brand, I should say, not that I use one kind. So I use the Bare Minerals mattes. This one, I'm gonna do the XYZ. It's a favorite of mine, like a go-to. It's a nude color. And we're gonna do this. All right, so it's important to kind of take off a bit of my chapstick. I don't take it all off. The reason I use my lips is because I don't want to remove all of it. So I don't want to use a wipe. I don't know why, but I don't like a bold lip. I've tried it, but I just feel like, so in the world of like fake lips these days, to sit and say that I have big lips is like, obviously, wouldn't make any sense, but I feel like when I have a bold lip that it just like, bam, you know, and I don't know why. I don't do it. Okay, so yeah, so there we go. Every now and then I'll like touch up my brows a little bit more after that. Cause like maybe, cause like sometimes it kind of gets a bit washed out with the foundation, like whenever I'm doing it. But they look okay today. And I can't find it. I don't know what I did with my, I don't know what I did with it. I got so much stuff up here. Maybe it's in here somewhere. I need a place to put everything so I know where it is. But that would require that I be organized. And I'm really not. That's an eyeliner. Anyway, there it is. Oh, and by the way, the color I use is the ash brown. Right. And so I'll just kind of sometimes just go over the top a little bit more here. Just to kind of redefine everything, kind of bring it back. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're good. So that is the look. Hopefully you can see it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Offer suggestions. This is my first ever, so obviously we're just, figuring this out, okay? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.